Hello once again, and thank you for staying with us on Commerce Close Up. This segment will be the final segment of this program, and I'm going to talk with our three guests briefly. Once again, City Manager Clayton, let's talk briefly about budget, maybe budget analysis. We're coming up into the new fiscal year.
Yes, Mayor, it seems like we budget year-round, but we're on a October 1 budget, so we usually start the process in April or May. A couple of projects that we got pending right now that we'll be asking the council to appropriate some funds are some downtown sidewalk improvement and also some improvements to our farmers market area. Try to make the farmers market area more of a year-round destination. And so I'll be asking that we're having a workshop next Wednesday where the council and staff will discuss those projects. And then probably in the April meeting, I'll be coming to the council and asking them to appropriate some funds to let us go forward. I'd just like to say that the current council is extremely good to work with on the budget. They take staff recommendations, they study them, they ask good questions, and we usually get to the place we need to get to.
Actually, Mark's comment on the farmers market brings up another point for me to discuss with Sherry before we get into what I really want to talk about. The farmers market was kind of an idea, conceptualization that you talked about and considered back and forth, and finally we got it started a year ago in September. So it was kind of, I don't want to give you all the credit for it, but most of the credit goes to Sherry. Talk a little bit about the farmers market.
Well, thank you. It was a huge success last year. We started out, I think, with 10 vendors, and some Saturday mornings we'd have 20, maybe 22. We had a huge assortment of baked goods, fresh vegetables. There were animals, miniature horses, bicycles, all kinds of things. It was really great, and everyone, I think, all the vendors enjoyed being there, as well as all the residents from Commerce and other places.
And other places. We did check out. Yeah. We're from Florida, well, visiting folks, but at least came to the farmers market.
So it was a place to bring your visitors, your relatives. It was a place to
be seen on Saturday morning.
That's right. It was
anyway, and I understand that we've even got more vendors lined up to start. What's the dates? Now, we learned last year a little bit about that too. It's setting the farmers market up from what to what? Okay,
the sanctioned Commerce Farmers Market starts on Memorial Weekend, Saturday, May the 23rd at 7:30. It'll open at 7:30, and it will close at noon, but the vendors are welcome to stay after that.
Right.
And then it will close for the season. The Commerce Farmers Market will close on September the 5th, which is Labor Day weekend.
But if a vendor wishes to go out and set up, they're certainly welcome to do that. Okay, good. Thank you on that. We'll be looking forward to the farmers market. But shortly after the farmers market in November, this is what we want to talk about.
Oh, okay. That is, as you had mentioned, the Susan G. Komen Ride for the Cure. I had heard that they were looking for a new venue, and so I called the lady that was in charge of that, was Susan G. Komen. I got with Dr. Harp and Dr. Collier from the Ag Department, and they thought it would be a wonderful idea. And so we got a luncheon together, a meeting. The Komen people came. I think there were 18 of us, and we are so excited about sponsoring this. It will be a city, university sponsorship, and it is going to be all hands on deck for the whole county. It's a fundraiser, of course, for breast cancer. There'll be, we'll have food, music, and there'll be trail rides, and there'll be clinics. So it should be really a great event.
I had an opportunity to attend one or two of those meetings and listen to the representatives from the Komen Foundation. They seemed to be rather startled at times that we had as much opportunity for them than they had from other places that they had been. That small little Commerce was going to provide them with a lot more opportunities to expand and raise money than they had in other locations.
Mm-hmm. They're totally blown away with us. They are so impressed.
So maybe it'll be the first year of many to follow. Chip Matthews, we're going to wind up the program here with you today, and we've got a few minutes to talk a little bit more about code enforcement. One of the things that kind of was a driving force getting you here was dilapidated buildings, buildings that needed to be raised or torn down as the case may be, and to clear out land, hopefully maybe for new buildings and new construction. However, along with that, and that seems to be working well, you've destroyed over 20 houses since December, I think, something like that.
We're running about 5 houses a month, and we're up to 22 houses since December.
Okay, so we're moving right along with that. And a couple of those locations, I've noticed, have even got survey up. They're going to rebuild on those places.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, one of the issues that came about early on when we were putting this thing together was inspection, code inspection. We alluded to that in the last segment. If a landlord has a house, it has to be inspected when it changes residence. If a landlord owns an apartment complex, it has to be inspected once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that inspection involves what?
Basically, it involves life, health, safety. We check for exposed electrical wiring, rubbish and debris in the yards, junk vehicles left behind, smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, just anything that could propose a life, health, safety risk, structural conditions inside of a residential structure.
One of the issues that came about when we were putting this plan together was in order to move in, in order to get the water turned on, you have the inspection done. And there was some disagreement with how long it would take to get the inspection done so people could move in. How long does it take to get inspection done?
We normally show up that day. Very rarely we're actually end up beating the property owner there in most cases to get the inspection done. There's very little delay. You set the day and time and we're there.
So nobody hasn't been able to move in on time because of inspection?
Correct.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I want to thank my guests, Mark Clayton, Sherry Johnson, and Chip Matthews from Commerce City. I'm your host for Commerce Close Up, Dr. John Ballotti. See you next time.